NASCAR!
Barely made it, dude.
What's up, guys? Larry Chen here. Welcome to another episode of Hoonigan Autofocus. We're at Grid Life at New Orleans Motorsport Park, NOLA, and it's been a crazy event. This is the last day, and I've had a chance to feature pretty much all the top garage cars except for this one. Hi.
How's it going?
This is Sloan, and he actually Hulk punched his door when he got angry.
We were out there, and Chris, was talking bad. He does that best, and I just got mad. I just hit it, And sometimes I underestimate my own strength, but
just donkey kicked it, huh? Gah!
Yeah, mom ain't raised no bitch.
We've had quite an interesting time the past couple days, huh?
Dude, we were out there on Friday, and my car, very first run, starts boiling smoke out of the back of it. So I come over here and troubleshoot it for like an hour. Turns out my PCV was kind of clogged, and we cleaned that up and just beat the hell out of it for a couple laps, and it kind of went away and cleared up. And then somehow my power steering reservoir fell off. I lost the cap, lost all the fluid, had to deal with that, burnt my arms and scratched them up, and went back out there and had a couple of good runs, got to rip the big track, and then we went back on the skid pad with Larry in the car, and that's when we KO'd the door. I'm gonna blame Emmett for that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. So I've never been in I've been in a crash in a drift car, but not that hard. And the good thing is I was strapped in and everything, so it wasn't that bad. But it was interesting. It was like,
I don't have
boom.
Good insurance, man.
It's like, boom, we got hit. And then I was like, oh, what happened? And then I look over, and then we get hit again. Yeah.
That was the worst part, probably, because I feel like it hit the door, and then the second one has kind of pushed this pillar in, but that's drifting, man. That's the name of the game.
No worries. So if we look on this side, you'll see that it's a perfect looking S13 drift car. See? Look how good it looks from this side.
It's almost too nice. Yeah. Almost.
And the thing is, what I love about Team Top Garage is they always try to make their cars look as good as possible. It's real paint, it's real long hours, and it's real dedication.
They're real kits, they're fitted good, they're always over fenders, just tons of work.
You guys don't use fake parts either on your cars, huh?
Not really. Sometimes we run cheaper kits if we run into them, but we got in with Forrest and got some doof kits before, and then this time Koru hooked me up and gave me car modified. And then I took it to my buddy, Tim Wallace, right where I live, local guy. And I always let him just have his creative, mindset. And I never have picked the color on my car, ever. I said, I want a blue car. And this time I dropped it off, I said, I want a two-tone car.
Wait,
and that's what I got.
You're matching your car, you notice that?
On accident.
And also your jeans too.
Dude, I'm one big blue guy.
You're two-tone. You're two-tone. So the story is legitimately, I've been able to shoot Top Garage for a couple of years now, especially at Grid Life. Atlanta, you guys always put an amazing showing. I have so many photos of you guys stacked up, but of course my favorite photo of you guys stacked up is the one where I took it, I was like, oh cool, they're all stacked
in
up
the horseshoe?
Yeah, in the keyhole.
And, dude, that's my favorite picture ever. So we always had a lot of respect for you, and when we got out there and we were ripping, we went back and looked, and I remember doing it because Chris was hitting me, and I looked back and I'm just like, and I think my hand's just over the top of the roof, and Chris is like, and you can see it in his face, like he's kind of like mad, and oh, it's so good. And he like zooms in and you can see both of us just hating on each other.
The fun thing about it is I took the picture and I didn't even notice it, and then it was me reviewing it way later, and I'm zooming in and I was like,
these guys are assholes.
Do these guys know that they're flicking each other off? I just think it was just so cool, because I think I was talking to Chris Ward. He actually didn't realize that you were flicking him off. I think he just was going backwards, because he's right-hand drive, right? So
yeah,
or how?
Yeah, he's right-hand drive. I'm left-hand drive. I believe in that picture I'm leading and he's chasing.
Oh, okay.
And we kind of do it all the time to each other, and it just turned out to just be an awesome picture. I mean, I guess best of luck for us.
I know. So with that said, that was definitely one of my favorite pictures of the year, because it's just such a storytelling thing. And I've said it in the videos before, especially when I'm featuring the other Top Garage cars. That's like the essence of Grid Life. Friends, having fun, amazing driving, and also just not giving about each other. Just like,
that's why drifting's fun. Is just exactly. You have to go out there and just do what you have fun doing. Some people want to compete, some people want to run solo runs, some people want to total their cars every event like us. We might be the only ones, I don't know, but we really enjoy just going out there and just kind of trying to beat each other, and that's why we're like part of our team, is just we're in competition with each other, and that's all we really care about.
Yeah, you guys push each other, which I love so much. And legitimately, I think in years past, I've always wanted to come by the paddock where you guys are in Atlanta, but by the time I make it there, the cars are destroyed already.
Total.
Yeah, so this time I'm lucky that I got in early to get enough materials to kind of tell the story, show the beauty of these cars. But unfortunately, this one had a little bit of an incident, but no worries, because we got the majority of shooting done already. I met you guys, and I maybe knew you guys for not more than, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I'm like, hey, let's go for a cruise in downtown New Orleans through the French Quarter.
I was skeptical. I was super skeptical, and I kind of thought about it. We all talked about it, and I'm like, dude, we're gonna shoot in a city we've never been, with Larry and Ryan driving through the streets in legit race cars. Like, no air conditioning, my windshield wipers don't work, I have no defrost, just ripping in a bucket seat, with headlights that are flapping like this in the wind with one tail light, just ripping down the road, just all four of us. And I'm just like, God, dude, it was sick. It was so sick.
So I recently had a chance to do that with Ryan in Chicago, but the difference is that he was the only drift car. Right. So he was the only one that had a tiny fuel cell, no license plate or anything like that. This time, it was 4 of you guys.
In the exact same boat. We have no fuel gauges, have no idea how much fuel we have. We don't even know where our cars get miles per gallon, because we don't drive them on the road. They're a wide open throttle on the track.
That's the funny thing, is you guys were putt-putting it. And, there may have been a little bit of flooring it here and there, especially when it started raining.
Yeah, we had to make sure they'd still break the tires loose.
Yeah, no, that's good. But it was a lot of fun, honestly. It was a lot of fun to see, and it was a lot of, I guess it was really interesting for me to see how the crowd interacted with you guys too, you know, because everyone was stoked to see you guys.
See, we hardly ever get to see that. So whenever we're driving, I feel like we just try and put on like, again, do we just want to do the best that we know that we can do? And most of the time, a lot of people come back to us in the pits and, yo, you guys are, you know, that was cool, that was awesome, or what happened to you guys? And sometimes, you know, we kind of blow them off on accident because our cars are broken, we're changing tires, we're trying to put fuel in it, and then, you know, there's 4 of us thrashing. If one car breaks, we all just jump on it. Like Emmett yesterday snapped a half shaft in his diff and had to blow the rear end apart and then take both half shafts out and knock that half shaft out. And I had some half shafts, we had to swap axles and everything. And so it's cool to just everybody go back to it, but sometimes I feel like we kind of come across as dickheads because people will come to us and, hey, what's up, man? Can we get a ride or something? And we try not to blow them off and be cool or whatever, but you know, when you're in the moment, like we don't have crew, we're each other's crew. So, you know, we can't go interact with individuals while our cars are tore up because the next session's coming in within an hour, you know? But for the most part, I feel like they always like us.
You said something interesting to me, or I think I was talking to a bunch of you guys about this, but there's a reason why you guys drive together. Also, because, for example, if incidents like that happen, you know, it's not like you can't blame each other or whatever, but it just happens to the best of you guys. You know, like one day it could be whatever, Chris, it could be you, who knows who's causing the incidents, or also you guys know what you guys are getting yourselves into.
Hey, that's the roll of the dice every time you go out there, man. I mean, I think one time I was in the keyhole at Road Atlanta Grid Life, and actually Pat was chasing me, or I was chasing Pat in Stoneback's car, and his axle snapped and just boom, right in the door. And it's completely out of our control. It's not a driver error, it's just a mechanical failure, and that's just part of the game.
But in essence, it also makes it better for tandem because of the fact that you guys drive together all the time. And plus you're matching tires, matching tire widths.
Pretty similar horsepower,
right?
Pretty similar grip levels.
Every one of them it's a 2.5 liter inline sixes. You know, one of them is RB, and I think the rest of them are 1Js,
VVTIs.
Right? So the point is that even though they're all different chassis per se, you're still able to kind of keep together. Some are right-hand drive, some are left-hand drive. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is it's Skittles. They all look different, but in essence, they're pretty much the same.
Sometimes we're sour.
That's a good way to put it.
No, one thing that we always try to do is when we go out, have nice cars, and you know, we all have the same amount to lose, you know, and it's not, we don't want to go out there and total our cars, but I'm not going to go out there and drive with somebody I've been this person, but with no body kit, blown apart stuff, because they don't have as much to lose. And if we, you know, drifting is kind of a moving car show, and you want your car to look sweet and you want it to be complete. And when you're out there, you know, if you get a cool picture with somebody and their car, you know, no offense to anybody, but if their car's blown apart and missing parts and stuff, and it makes the picture not as cool for me at least. And that's why we always try to go out there. All of our cars look good. All of our cars are matching, and we just try and rip and do as best we can.
Yeah, I mean, because for example, like the paint job, this car in general is just so marbled up, you know, from following super close. But realistically, I can't remember the last time I saw S13 with real paint.
It's been that long?
Yeah, you know, I mean, S13s, I feel like it's a dime a dozen. You know, you just slap a thing on it, whatever.
Go total it and get another shell.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that you're kind of putting this effort into it, and I love the two-tone so much. That's my favorite. This is actually the only drift car this is the only drift car that I've had as a 240. I bought it like 8 years ago. I built it. It took me about 3 years to do it, and it was an original gold tan coupe. And I saw, I think it was on Forza as a factory like colorway, and it has the gray on the bottom. I was like, man, that'd be so cool to do. And I bought a BN knockoff kit, and then we fitted it. Tim fitted it. I didn't do much. I just paid the man and put it on there and got it all looking just so good. And then it was street car-ish. And then I changed it to the blue, and it just never really hit home for me. And this go around, I was like, Tim, dude, I want a two-tone again. He's like, I got an idea.
and this is what we come up with. And you know, it's the little things on the car that really stand out to me that I like to do. Is like, we have button head, you know, stainless hardware, and then we actually pinstripe the car with actual pinstriping tape, you know, like the factory pinstripe on the car.
Yeah.
And when we fit the kit, he was like, dude, we have to top, you know, this. And that's the little things on the car that really, to me, just like draw it out, because we could have painted this whole skirt that color, but it's above the pinstripe. So in our eyes, you know, it has to be blue. And then
it in essence, I mean, yeah, because it's keeping that essence of the original two-tone cars. Like,
it's a factory body line.
I think one of my favorites is like that green two-tone.
Seafoam coupe.
Yeah, the seafoam. The seafoam.
Love it.
Sylvia is definitely one of my favorites.
Special place in your heart,
yeah,
right?
It's so cool. And I mean, it's the whole initial D thing, all of that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we fell in love with drifting. It's because we think the cars look good. But like, yeah, you're right. Like this detail, I honestly would have overlooked it. But the fact that the line starts all the way here and it goes all the way to the back,
across the rear bumper and everything.
Yeah, but there's like some hidden things. For example, like this door skin is super cool. I didn't even realize this was a thing that you could do.
Yeah, so we actually Chris came up with the idea, because these doors are getting pretty hard to find that are nice, and even if you do find them, they do need body work. And you know, as long as the edges line up, we just molded this piece. We got a guy local to us, and we've got S13, S14, and S15, so we can all wreck our cars. And he just pulls it off the mold, and I mean, pretty much minimal trimming. It's just the door handle fits back in there, and the trim goes over the top, and you tape it, and you could. It's just super thin. I mean, you can't even tell, and it saves the door. Because I mean, you get a donut here in the center. There's nothing wrong with it. Still opens and shuts fine. This door behind this is total. It's KO'd. So it makes it easier. It's just another way to make just things a little bit easier for us.
Yeah. No, because if no one pointed it out to me, I wouldn't have known even. Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty of it. So let's go around the rear here. It's just, I love this look so much, like the
Rocket Bunny spoiler. Yeah.
The Rocket Bunny spoiler just looks so cool. I don't know, it just has that look, and I think it looks perfect. I think your car, I just really appreciate the look of it. Unfortunately, you hook punched it over here.
Oh, I forgot. It was terrible on this side. You had to remind me, Larry.
But no, I love the way this thing looks, and it photographs amazing too. Can we take a look at the engine bay?
It's a little dirty.
Race car things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so you are the only one that has RB.
I'm the only one that's RB.
Huh.
And it's actually funny because I went RB, like I said, way long time ago. Blew that engine up and found a car that was like super cheap, like paid like $3,000 for it with coilovers in a running driving car with a real Grady manifold. Pulled that out, put it in here, drove it for like 3 or 4 events, and I'm like, I need more power. It was a stock RB car, and I bought this stock race manifold 6 years ago and put a GTX 3071 on it, I think is what it is. And it made 430 horsepower for 3 or 4 years, and it was hydraulic lifter then, and I dropped the lifter. So we went through Tiger Racing, Sammy did. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. He's an older guy. He's been around the block forever and ever. Local Atlanta guy to us, and SR God and built RB. So I was like, just take it to Sammy. So went over there, full forge block, all solid lifter, Tomei built head basically, Tomei cams. We put a new center section in the turbo. I think there's 1,700 ID injectors, E85. Real Grady. I mean, it makes right at 500 now on 18 pounds.
Yeah, and that's like good. I feel like that's like reliable. You guys
blow the tires off in third gear, no problem.
You drive it so hard.
I love it.
Ryan Literal is running the 25 also, right?
Yeah. Oh, I talked to him for a while about it.
850 horsepower.
Yeah, he said he makes 760 on like a Borg Warner, and I was like, God, dude.
It's so much power.
That's a lot. It's so lot.
But with this set, I mean, I feel like this is like a good, reliable setup. You're not pushing it too much, and also for you, it's staying on track. It's about that.
Yeah, it's all about track time. It's all about driving. It's all about going out there and just drifting. So as long as we're out there, like, don't overcomplicate it. Like, as you can see, we don't have tube fronts. We don't have tube rear. We don't like, Emmett has a fuel cell because he bought the car from somebody, his R32 that way. But all of us have stock fuel cells for the most part, and we just swap the lines out with AN stuff and leave the hard lines and run a high pump in the back, and they rip. Like, most people's biggest problem, I think, is they overcomplicate their drift car, and they get caught up in that idealism that the car needs to be more than they can drive. You need to, like, almost grow into it. Like I said, I mean, I had cut knuckles in a stock RB in this car, and now it has, 80 degrees of lock or whatever, and 500 horsepower.
Did you tub this?
I actually tubbed this. I was like 17 years old with a 110 MIG welder at the house, and just their trailer fenders, and one of my buddies at the time was a body guy, and we went back and wiped the top and wiped this and ground this down, and that's why it looks like buggered up junk here, because I didn't know what I was doing, man, but here we are.
Yeah, no, it lasted this long.
Man, honestly, these fenders, a lot of people cut them because they scrub, like on the factory stuff. But this car has been hit so many times in the front, and I think that has saved it, because it just is still rigid. When you tube front the car, you're putting like your stress points up here. Where this has to almost bend all of that. It's got more contact. I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but it makes sense in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's a trailer circle fender, and it's really
just cut in half. That's it.
Exactly. So I think it's good. I think we're good. Super simple. So what engine management are you running?
It's actually a RS enthalpy with a SAFC.
Oh, it's like old school.
It's old school. It's just a ROM tuned computer, and then an SAFC on it, and it's been that way for 3 years now, I guess.
So normally I would have you open that door, and then we can talk about some of the stuff in the interior, but obviously we can't. So the interior, super simple, nothing crazy, everything just works. Right?
Yeah, for the most part, this is, I paid a guy out of Georgia to come through and race car the panel, the thing, all relays, all fuses. And again, that was 5 years ago. I've hardly ever had any issues out of it. And all the gauges are wired up. They're all digital auto meters. Grip roll, hooked it up with a steering wheel.
What transmission is this?
It's just a stock RB25 transmission.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is like it would have come out of the
out of a GTST. No, I think this is a Series 1, so it's a R32 GTST.
Got it.
Yeah, and that was one of the big things whenever I did this swap that I wanted, was an actual RB25 transmission, because the 20s are basically KA transmissions, and they're just not as strong. And they say these are good for, I blew one transmission up because my clutch slipped, and it slipped so hard that the bolts actually like expanded and broke, and it blew the bell housing up, bent the input shaft, and just destroyed it. And I had this transmission from the other engine that I blew up and put it in here, and this car is, it's kind of sucks with the 410, because you're either hammering limiter in second, or you're just like bogging it in third. But like on the big track, third gear just cooks it out there, boils the tires off of it.
What are you guys running in terms of rear ends? Like, I think some of you guys have welded, and some of you guys have
So
LSDs.
I actually had a Tomei two-way in this car for a really long time, and I broke something. I don't really know exactly what happened to it, but it had come loose, and one of the axles snapped, and when it snapped, it bound up in there and bent the subframe, blew the back of the housing out, and it warped the half shaft, and I had extra half shafts in my trailer for a welded. So I think we swapped those half shafts into a welded diff, because I think that was a VLSD or something like that. I don't really remember quite what it was, but now it's a welded. But I actually have J30 axles, 5-bolt J30 axles, and they all running those 350Z axles, the 6-bolt.
Got it.
But for the most part, man, it's just, I still have stock lower control arms. I have PBM drop knuckles on the back, but I have stock lower control arms, and then all the top arms are adjustable. And the front's just Chris's angle kit, just a cut. It's a tubular lower control arm with cut knuckles.
So is it all Nissans, this team? Is there any Toyotas or anything?
No, so Carlos has an S14, Emmett has an R32, Chris has an S15, Augustin has an S13, and Vince has an S13. I have an S13. Huh. Darren drives with us sometimes at Grid Life. He's the kind of the goldish one, but I think he sold that car as an S13 too, though. But a couple of the other guys were LSs for a while, and they just ended up wanting to have more power. And so they went JZs. I guess they just wanted to change, don't ask me.
I mean, plus it just sounds so crazy. When you guys are coming around the keyhole, it's insane. It's like, there's just so many, it's like a symphony of turbo noises, right?
We actually were driving on the back straight at Road Atlanta. We were drag racing a couple times, and we were rolling like probably, I don't know, 60, 70 miles an hour, and the car's like harmonized.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, you know what I'm talking about? And your head just like pumping. I'm just like, oh my God, because they're straight downpipe, just ISIS blast pipes, or ISR now blast pipes, and it just warps your head, man. We don't wear earplugs out there, you know. It just, so it's like you can literally feel it when they come by you. So it's so cool.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just the style. You guys have so much style. I mean, that's just something that you can't teach, or that's something that you just kind of acquire over time, right? Even all the way down to your helmet, your watermelon head.
I don't have it with me, but I'm sure you got a video of it.
I got a picture of it, but it's just kind of like a cool thing. It's always the
a way to express yourself.
Yeah, like, a way to express yourself. It's the littlest things. I mean, because it would be too easy for you guys to build something that's
cookie cutter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you did like a 350 or 370Z or whatever, and just, it basically drifts out of the box, right? And I bet you guys could be.
I had one for a little while as like a missile car. Bought it, stock car, welded the diff, put adjustable rear control arms on it, an inline hydro e-brake, a PBM lower control arm, and a set of coilovers, and it ripped. It ripped. I drifted a half-mile oval in that car.
There you go. I mean, you could do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know what? You guys just take it to the next level, and some of you guys will have to do a little more work after this event than others.
Especially me. Especially me.
But that's kind of the crazy thing about it is it's amazing to me to see the dedication every event. So first event next year, this is going to be a brand new car.
Primo again. And the little street drive we did on Friday, I probably should put a tag and insurance on it and enjoy it a little more. Because when we drive our cars, I was telling the other guys this, when we drive our cars on the track, we don't get to experience all of the sounds and the actual rawness of the car, because we go on track and we're wide open throttle for, you know, the lap or so, and then we park it and you just listen to it idle. But on the street, you know, you get to do pulls and listen to the blow-off valves and the surge of the turbo and the exhaust and the backfires and all that, and just enjoy it more, you know?
And on top of that, just the reactions. Like, for example, when we were going through that French Quarter in the Bourbon Street area, somebody literally stopped you
with his dog, comes out with his dog, and he's like, yo, and I didn't know what was going on. I mean, we're driving through the French Quarters, and he like stops us, and Larry luckily was standing there, and all the camera guys are running down the road, and this guy, like, the cars in front of us go, and I'm like, whoa, what's this guy doing? And Larry's thinking the same thing. He's like, what in the world's going on? Takes his dog like this, and the front bumper, holds it, goes, take a picture of me and my dog. And Larry's like, this is really happening. He's like, and then I was just like, Chris was in the car, and I was like, that just happened. That guy got so stoked to see us.
Well, you were actually mentioned, you're like, that guy's never gonna see the photo.
Exactly. Like, he got so hyped just to take a picture with the car, and he likely will probably never see it. Like, he has no idea who we are. He just, we're just a random car on the street, and he was so hyped. He just, yeah, my dog.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is he knew obviously it was special enough for him.
He was like, I don't know what that is, but the car's cool. That's what he thought. That's what he thought.
Exactly, and it's making a bunch of cool noises too.
We were revving it, and then we revved one time at a group of girls, and you know the memes where it's like, never ever has that been, and we knew it, and they were definitely the group of girls where they were like, who revs their piece of shit car at us? We did it anyways, you know? We did it anyways.
Or that's like the Jay Leno joke. Like if you want to get a bunch of like high school dudes to like, I don't know, get jealous of what you have or whatever, then you have a Lamborghini Countach or whatever, right? If you want a bunch of JDM fanboy dudes to get fucking excited,
yeah.
You have something like this.
Take a piece of S13 and make it nice.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And dude, thank you guys so much. Yeah, I just met you guys, but I'm like, let's go for a drive, you know? And
Larry's our buddy, man. He's already got us on his call log. He's texting us, checking on us. Like, have a good day, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Oh, shut up! SAFC life.
Top Garage. They're unsafe. They're not professional. They come out here, they wreck the cars. They're like my favorite team to watch. They really are.
That's coming from Team Rowdy.
And look, they're just like, if you really want to like see what drifting is all about, like go out and watch those dudes drive, because like they're all like, what, 2 or 3 of them are on fresh paint, and like now they gotta get them painted again. But it doesn't affect their spirit. They're just gonna keep driving, and that's just so cool.
That's what it's about. Thanks, Greg.
Bye, guys.